Hello, folks. I'm just gonna do a little bit of streaming tonight for a few minutes, talk about the winter storm Ember that's coming up here soon. We're gonna have, hello, folks. Snow and freezing rain. I'm just gonna do a little bit of streaming tonight. Sorry about a few minutes. Talk about trying to, winter storm Ember that's coming up here soon. We're gonna have, hello, folks. Snow and freezing rain. I'm just gonna do a little bit of streaming tonight. Sorry about a few minutes. Talk about trying to, winter. There we go. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of technical difficulties there. Um, but yeah. So, let me get back to it. I want to just talk a little bit about the winter storm that's coming up, and I'll show you the video I just put out, my YouTube short about measuring the precipitation, measuring the snow that we will be getting here soon. So let me go and do that. Hi folks, we got Winter Storm Ember coming, getting ready to measure snowfall with my handy dandy rain gauge here. This will tell me, I can melt the snow that falls inside of this, and it'll tell me the snow water content, which is basically how much rain would have fallen if it had come in that form of precipitation. I'm going to also take the rain gauge off the mount to measure a snow core, and that will give me an even more accurate measurement of snow water content. And also, I'm going to take the snow depth, the snowfall, and we can see it here. I got my snowboard to measure snow on. It's a hard surface. It makes the measurement more accurate. And I have the reflector there to tell me where it is when we get the snow. So, thank you. I'm excited to get some snow and measure it. Hi, folks. We got Winter Storm Ember coming. Hey, how's it going? The last one, 207, HC teacher. Yeah, I'm just going to be talking a little bit about the winter storm that we're going to be getting, and also um, the other thing is I'm kind of right now doing kind of a test, you could say. I'm testing out this new streaming software. I'm using OBS to stream. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but yeah. So I'm going to just look at some of the weather models kind of from a weather enthusiast perspective. We're not really like I'm not at all any professional meteorologist or anything, but I really love the weather, and I hope to, as I'm trying to get a degree in geology and a minor in climate science, I hope to go into the field of climate science. I'm really interested in earth science and stuff like that. So it's just kind of an interest for now. Eventually it'll become a professional thing. Right now it isn't. So let me go and just look at some of the models. Now, when you look at the weather models, the thing you need to remember is none of these weather models are forecasts of themselves. So the weather models are used to build a forecast, but on their own, you kind of have to take a lot of them with a grain of salt. As it gets closer, you can trust them a little bit more, but still, there's differences between one weather model and another. A lot of times, people will look at weather model ensembles to where they'll put multiple um, weather models together. As you can see here in the top right here, there's all this list of ensembles. I'll be looking at that later, but right now I'm looking at the GFS and the Euro to start off. Right now we're going to start with the GFS. Those are like the two, I'd say the two main and known to be super accurate weather models. Oh, one second, let me see. Let me check the chat for a second. Uh, oh, neat. Yeah, I'm into minerals too, as you know. So that's really cool about the School of Mines in Colorado. I think a while back, I was considering there was another School of Mines out in South Dakota that I was considering possibly going to because I think they had meteorology, but I didn't end up going. I didn't end up doing that, but it was a consideration at least. But yeah, so I'll just go back and check the weather models a little bit more. But so what we have here right now is on the GFS weather model. By the way, anybody can go here to this page. It's pivotal weather, pivotalweather.com. It's a great place to go and look at some of the weather model products are cost, but a lot of the stuff in here you can get for free and just look at it. It's really useful. So just to start, we got the storm over here right now in Illinois, Kentucky, the Midwest basically. Um, as we go ahead about 3 hours, it's starting to come our way. It's in Alabama, you know. There's a lot of, I'd say, heavy precipitation coming in off the Gulf Coast. Lots of energy, lots of moisture. That's why Arkansas got hit pretty hard today with snow and then rain. It turned into rain because the warm front moving north. But as we get into at this time frame, which is let's see here, Saturday. Hold on, am I on the right one? Saturday, January 6th, 60. Hold on, this might be. No, yeah, I think this is right. Whatever. Um, but soon we're gonna be getting this freezing rain developing in North Carolina mountains. That's a possibility for sure to see freezing rain from North Carolina into Virginia. Um, so yeah, I wish it was snow because I'm a snow lover. I hate freezing rain, but I think I think I'll be getting a little bit of freezing rain in my area and snow as well. So we'll see. Um, so I would say that by the time it gets to Southwest Virginia, there's gonna be lots of freezing rain. Um, I mean, that's what a lot of weather models are showing. Some models are showing sleet as well, not just freezing rain. Um, yeah, once it gets here, I mean, I think this weather model is partially accurate for sure about this because you got the Atlantic Ocean. It's getting over the Atlantic Ocean, and you can see the darker reds in here. That is because the storm by this point is getting a lot more energy off of the Atlantic, which is a closer source of moisture for the East Coast here in Virginia and, you know, Pennsylvania. So you're getting a lot of heavier precipitation, heavier snow. The snow's got, you know, the colors for the snow has gotten darker, so that tells you it's heavier snow. Um, Pretty much on this weather model, it's showing heavy freezing rain from like Culpeper County all the way down into Nelson and Augusta County, um, with snow to the north of there in Rockingham and Shenandoah, Page. Heavy snow out here in Pendleton County in West Virginia. So we'll see about that. Uh, and then just if this turns out, man, if this turns out to be the way they're showing it here, that's going to be a lot of ice, I'd say. Although luckily it is a quick moving storm, so maybe it might not be as much ice as it looks just based on how heavily the precipitation is falling. But that's pretty heavy precipitation right there. And if that's freezing rain, that's not good. Uh, at this point in the storm, what you're getting is you're getting this warm front. And the warm front is pushing in a layer of warm air between the cold air, kind of. And you're getting a very thin layer of cold air near the surface that's causing the rain to freeze on impact. And so it's just this warm front pushing this warm air in that's melting the snow, turning it to rain, and then refreezing right before it hits or right as it hits the ground exactly. And what's interesting is the cold front on the back side of the storm is causing snow to wrap around the freezing rain. And you're getting snow almost in Southwest Virginia, a little north of Roanoke. Um, so that's kind of interesting. And at this point, I'm not sure exactly why the freezing rains kind of disappeared because I'm definitely not a meteorologist, but you're starting to get heavier snow in south central, southeast Pennsylvania, although not the farthest southeast because it looks like in this on this model they're getting rain. Um, but yeah, let me check the chat for a second here. Um, you're reading that Michigan has very low ice cover on the lakes because of climate change due to us. Yeah, uh, so with when you have lower ice cover, usually I'm pretty sure I'm not sure I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure usually when you have lower ice cover, that that itself at that moment would increase the likelihood for lake effect snow. But but yeah, I mean the climate change is really, I mean it's messing stuff up. I've seen a lot of people who might deny it or whatever that it's happening or that we're causing it or whatever. But in my opinion, you don't even need to look at data to be able to tell that it's happening and that we're getting crazy stuff happening in the past few years and past few decades that didn't happen as much before. But yeah, let me just look at some other chats here. Okay, hey, cool guy. Nice to see you. Um, yeah, I haven't got any snow there yet. Let me check the radar. We'll look at the radar for a minute, and then I'll go back to the weather models. Um, Let me see here. I'm just gonna look at the weather.com's radar. Gotta refresh this here. We'll see where it is. How close is it to your area? Oh yeah, it's not there yet. It's not there yet. It's still in Illinois. There's a little bit of snow. I like making this web map bigger. There we go. There's still a little bit of snow in Indiana. It's starting to inch your way for sure. Um, so here's, let me go to the past 2 hours, and we'll look at that. So it's hitting St. Louis pretty hard right now, pretty heavy snow. Um, but you can see all the a whole lot of heavy rain from like northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, all the way to the Gulf Coast. That's coming off of the Gulf and just tons of moisture there. Um, and I'd say the storm's strengthening for sure. Let me see here. So I'm going to go back to the weather models. So this weather model doesn't really show, like for instance, Delaware doesn't look like they're going to get much snow. But let me go back in time on this weather model a little bit. It So like for Ohio, where you are, cool guy, it looks like, now this isn't the forecast. This is just a one weather model, so take it with a grain of salt. Um, it's showing light snow hitting you, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. This is the GFS model. It's showing pretty heavy snow hitting New Jersey and near New York on this one. But you know that rain snow line is so hard to forecast. There's lots of factors. How strong is the warm front? Where are the elevation differences? Um, a lot of different things that go into the rain snow line. It's super hard to forecast. And then when you have a warm front cutting north into the storm, you're going to have possibility for freezing rain like we're seeing here in this storm when it's, hitting the mid-Atlantic, hitting Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, southeast, Um, it really ramps up, it looks like, this storm. At least the snowfall and the freezing rain looks like it really ramps up by the time you get to Saturday afternoon. Um, I mean, Virginia is getting hit pretty hard with freezing rain on this weather model. And so also in can't ignore this. Not as heavy freezing rain, but still some freezing rain showing up on this weather model in northern West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and heavy snow starting to happen in northern Virginia. All right, so let me just look. Let me just take this out a little bit. I mean, I could analyze this for a long time, but I think I'm just going to quick go to the snowfall there, the snow depth map. This is the future snow depth map based on the GFS model's version of the future. um, Oops, I keep jumping up, by the way. There we go. Um, it's a sensitive loop, forecast loop thing. So this is the GFS version of the future. It's showing, all right, so you can see as I go into the future, this is the same storm, as I go into the future, it starts snowing, but then if you look down like here in Virginia, it starts melting right after because you're getting not just melting, but it's also settling. The snowpack is settling because the freezing rain is getting on top of it, and then also the rain's probably starting to melt some as well. So it snows, but then it melts right after, even as it is raining. So first, for instance, you're getting a widespread on the GFS model. It's showing a widespread 4 inches through the Shenandoah Valley. Um, but that kind of melts away pretty quick. You're getting in, 3 inches. So, but up here in New York, they're showing this weather model. The GFS is showing 6 inches and stuff, and also in West Virginia. The Alleghenies of West Virginia, oh man, and Pennsylvania, they get crazy snowfall totals for not being very far north relative to the rest of the United States. In the wintertime, the elevation, not just the elevation, but also the fact that they also pick up on a little bit of the energy from the Great Lakes. But that's another topic. That's not this storm. But it is interesting how they get a lot of snow. Let me go back and check the chat. I'm sorry if I haven't looked at it enough. Um, let's see here. Uh, iciest months, February, March. Supposed to get some participation of rain and snow next week. Looks like Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, that's the other thing. Um, Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, precipitation. Right, got you. No worries. Um, I'm pretty sure even Virginia and Pennsylvania is going to get in on some of that Tuesday and Wednesday. Although it very quickly turns to rain because we're not on the backside of the storm. We're kind of in the main area of the warm front in that storm. Uh, they call these mid-latitude cyclones, a lot of these storms. When you get nor'easters, a nor'easter is basically a type of mid-latitude cyclone. It's similar in some ways as there is some wide, very wide rotation. It's not at all, like a hurricane, but there is some similarity. So it is a cyclone of sorts, just not nearly as strong as a hurricane. But what's interesting about that is on the west side of those storms, the backside and the west side of those storms, you get more snow. Uh, Northwest is where you get most snow on those types of storms usually. But if it's cold enough on the northeast side of the storm, you can get snow, but usually it turns to rain pretty quick because of the warm front. And that's what we're seeing here to some degree. That's why if the storm was off the coast, then the northeast of the storm would be out in the ocean, and then the warm front wouldn't really affect snowfall totals on land. But since it's not that far off the coast, and sometimes it's on land still, that means that a lot of the coastal areas, and even farther inland as you go farther south, you're going to be affected by the warm front, and that just that cuts down snowfall totals for sure. So yeah, so you can kind of see where we're at with the snow. Widespread 3-4 inches in the mid-Atlantic, and then you're going up a little more into the mountains. You get more like 5 and 6. Farther north you get Pennsylvania, you're going back into the 5 and 6 inches, and then this is just the GFS model. This isn't a forecast. Again, um, GFS model is showing kind of a bullseye here in New York, but who knows? Let me see. I'm going to check some other weather models, but first I'm going to check the chat again. Um, hey, Major Minis, welcome. Hello. Just this is kind of a weather enthusiast analysis of the storm that's coming. Not really like, oh, hey, Lisa, UK girl, hello. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing a weather enthusiast analysis of the weather. Not really a professional or anything. I'm not a professional meteorologist. It's just kind of a fun analysis of some of the different weather models. The weather model you're seeing right now, it's not a forecast or anything. It's just kind of one of the weather models that meteorologists use to build a forecast based on multiple different sources of weather models. So this is not like set in stone or anything. Um, I think I saw like was it a month ago or something like that? I heard that the UK kind of got a little bit of a snowstorm. Um, I don't know how much snow different areas got or how unusual that is. I'm pretty sure it's kind of unusual to get a lot of snow in the UK unless you're in the Highlands in Scotland or something. But I want to learn more about the weather in England as well. But yeah, but back to the subject for a moment. But if you want to talk about that, you can talk about that in the chat. I'll come back and check the chat in a minute. But I'm going to go back and check another weather model here. We will check uh, the Euro weather model. I want to go back to surface precipitation. I want the precipitation type and rate, which is basically like a future radar in a sense. Let's see here. That's a different storm. Um, let's see here. Do I have this right? Yeah, I think so. So on this one, the Euro is showing a mixed precipitation happening, not just freezing rain. Mixed, I'm assuming they're talking about things like sleet and graupel, which is another type of mixed precipitation. It's kind of like snow that's a little more compacted. It's not exactly sleet, but it's almost sleet in a sense. Um, so they're showing a lot of mixed precipitation uh, coming into, Virginia, and a little bit of freezing rain as well in North Carolina and Virginia and Kentucky as well. Uh, then they're showing like it's really hard to make it all out, but there's like pockets of rain, freezing rain, mixed precipitation like sleet and stuff, and then snow. This is a little bit harder to see exactly what's going on, but yeah, they're talking about pretty much a mess, a mess in Western and Central Virginia. Um, they're not showing, I'd say, as much heavy snow. The Euro doesn't look like they're showing as much heavy snow in this model as the GFS shows. Still heavy snow. Still gonna, put some pretty good accumulations down for, I'd say, once you start getting into Pennsylvania and maybe a little bit in Virginia. Um, and then all the way in the Northeast. It also looks like the Euro is forecasting the storm to be a little farther, a little more rain farther inland than the GFS, because you can see there's mixed precipitation in New York City in this one. In the other one, it looked like if as long as you're on the north side of New York City, you might get some snow. But in this one, it doesn't look like that's the case. But this is just one weather model. And then they're also talking about the arrow is also showing mixed precipitation hitting Boston and the eastern coast of Massachusetts. So that's interesting. Um, yeah. Let me go back and look at the chat. Hello. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, HC teacher, for reminding people to like it. Yep. Thank you. Hit the like button, folks. I'm kind of also right now. I'm also testing out my new uh, streaming app that I have here on my laptop. It's OBS, and I heard it was supposed to be pretty good. So we'll see. It seems to be pretty good so far. Let me know if there's anything I should change. Oh, yeah, HC teacher. Yes, I am. Well, I'm on my winter break right now. I'm going to community college, and they're giving us a pretty long winter break till what is it? The 16th is when I go back to community college, the 16th. But yeah, I'm in my second year, and this will be the last semester of my second year. And then I hope to transfer. Got a few different ideas, but so yeah, I'm hoping to go into climate science in case anybody here hasn't heard yet. I'm hoping to go into climate science, and also geology is interesting as well. So yeah, I'm in college and I'm enjoying it so far. There's a couple of hard subjects like they want you to do, calculus and physics and stuff. That's not so easy. But if you're going into something earth science related, I guess they want those subjects. So that's the hard part, but at the same time, I'm really enjoying the earth science and stuff, and that's what I'm going to be taking this semester. I'm going to be taking earth science in my community college, along with what is it, World Lit. They want you to take that too. Uh, what was the other one? I'm blanking out because I'm thinking about weather right now, so I'm not sure. Oh yeah, calculus. Right, I forgot. I'm just I'm a little tired. But yeah, so let me see here. That's just another weather model. Um, Let me see just quick. After looking at the surface and precipitation, I'm gonna look at. Oh, this is the problem. Now here's the problem, and it's not a huge problem. I understand. These folks have to make money at Pivotal Weather, so some of the products cost. They do have total snowfall with a what they describe as a 10 to 1 ratio. And what that is it's it's a common thing to assume, not all the time, but assume some of the time that when you have a lot of when you have snow, I think if I understand correctly, on average, most snowfalls are 10 inches of snow and 1 inch of water. 1 inch of rain basically. So if the snow was rain and you got 10 inches of snow, it'd be like having 1 inch of rain. That's not always the case. You have many different ratios for the amount of water that is in snow. So with sorry. So with that, you can't always assume that you're going to get a 10 to 1 ratio. So it's kind of an assumption to click on this and show you. I mean, all of this is an assumption to some degree, but it's a little I'd say not applicable in this case. I think a 10 to 1 ratio would overdo the predicted snowfall totals from this weather model. They do have better ratios available, but that costs on this Euro weather model. So I'm not going to look at that. This is way out in the future, so don't even pay attention to that. Sorry about that. But here's with the 10 to 1 ratio, which is a good bit overdone, I'd say, for the amount of snow that you're going to get. It shows, I mean, anything in the purple is 6 inches and over. So it shows a widespread 6 inches and over, but that's kind of a bad assumption. So I wouldn't trust this. I just really wouldn't trust this because this is assuming you're going to get a 10 to 1 ratio of snow to water, and that's probably not going to happen. But it's interesting still. It just tells you like what you could get if there wasn't a lot of freezing rain and rain mixing in and a lot of sleet. If you just had a pure snowfall where there was, little bit of a drier snow, this is what you could see, but that's not going to happen. I mean, some of these places might get these same totals, but not most places. So I'm just going to skip that one for now. That was interesting to look at. It's a good thing to learn about whenever you see 10 to 1 snowfall ratio, you'll know what that is. Um, we have, let's see here. Uh, Lisa, UK girl, you're in here. So why don't we look at the UK weather model? See what they're saying. Might as well. They have it here. So this is kind of neat. The UK Met Weather Model. Um, so they also have the 10 to 1 ratio. But for now, I'm going to look at their surface and precipitation forecast. Let's see. They have different. All right. So let's see here. Oh, okay. So on this weather model, they don't do the future radar type thing, but they do have the 48-hour quantitative precipitation. So this just tells you like how much precipitation we're going to get from this. Um, I haven't used this that much, so I'm trying to figure it out here. Is this the past 48 hours? All right, guys. I actually don't know. Just going to be real. I do not know if I understand how this works. Oh, hold on a minute. No, no, no. I think I might understand this. Yeah, okay, this might be better. 6 hour. Okay, so let's go 24. Let's go 24 hours. This will tell us how much precipitation we can expect out of this, I think, over the next 24 hours, if I understand that correctly. I mean, here you're getting over an inch of what would be rain in a sense, at least the equivalency of rain. Um, yeah, I mean, that's really, you're getting a couple areas in Massachusetts that we get over an inch of precipitation, and along the New Jersey coast as well. So yeah, it's a quick hit. This is gonna be a quick hitting storm for sure. We can look at their 10-to-1 ratios, but again, don't trust it because it's not that their models are inaccurate. It's just that when you look at a 10-to-1 ratio, that's assuming that you're going to get a snowfall ratio of 10-to-1. If you don't get that, then it's just then that would might be overdoing it a little bit. So here we have Saturday. You can find I should have said this at the start of the stream. I'm sorry about this, guys. But you can look at the date over here on the top left of this map. The other thing is 18Z is like, what is that? I think that's 6 o'clock. No, right? Hold on, 18Z. So we have six six more hours is yeah. So that's 6 o'clock. Yeah, 18Z is 6 o'clock. Um, so that's 6 o'clock tonight, which already passed. No, not 6 o'clock tonight. Sorry. That's 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Forgive me. Um, but yeah, so the UK Met. They're showing now. This is one thing that we can analyze and trust from their perspective. Not trust as a forecast, but trust as one of the models, and just be like, all right, so this is what one of the models is saying. It's not exactly a forecast, but it is showing the snowfall in general being farther inland, farther north, and farther west. So like Virginia isn't really getting in on much of the snow unless you're in the most western portions of Virginia. Um, and then it's staying off the coastline for the most part. I mean, unless you're in northern Rhode Island, you're not getting any snow based on this weather model, the UK Met. But inland, they're saying, yeah, plenty of snow. I wouldn't trust the numbers on this exactly for everywhere because obviously, again, it is a 10-to-1 ratio, and that's not necessarily what we're getting everywhere in this storm. So yeah, I'm gonna go check the chat. Sorry, I haven't checked that in a little bit. Um, and if you guys, as long as you're enjoying it, you can stay, but I don't want to make you feel like you have to be here all the whole time. I'm just kind of, you can come in and go as you please, whatever you want. You're welcome to, but please hit like if you like it. Um, uh, yeah, I did say the UK Met model. That's what we were looking at kind of right now. And you can actually see that up in the top left-hand corner of the screen, right under where it says observations on the thing. It's the UK Met model. Um, let's see here. What are the chats? I'm trying to get the chat right here. Sorry. Let me. Hey, Amy. I don't know how long you've been in here, but I was just looking at some of the different weather models from a weather enthusiast perspective. Thanks for stopping by. I'm trying to figure this out here. It's hard. I'm using this. I'm streaming with OBS currently. It's another platform for streaming, and I'm just trying to figure out. HC teacher, don't worry. It's not really my prediction. In this case, I'm not exactly making much of a prediction myself. I'm just looking at some of the weather models. So don't trust me on any of this yet. Um, I mean, I could go into what I think might happen here in a little bit. That would be fine. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let me just look at some of the other chats quick here. Um, oh yeah, cold for streaming, right? Um, let's see here. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, sorry I hadn't seen the chat for a little while. I got the chat on this one window on my OBS streaming thing, and I haven't figured out how to put it to where I can conveniently access it. So sorry if I don't look at it all the time and I miss some things. But so yeah, this is the UK Met. For anybody who hasn't heard me say this already, all these models, none of them are exactly forecast. They're just used to help build forecasts. Forecasters take different strengths and weaknesses from each weather model. Um, oops, that's too far in the future. Sorry. And yeah, so don't just just take it with a grain of salt. For anybody who has already heard that, I'm sorry I'm repeating it, but hey, I don't know who's coming in and going when. So, uh, let's see here. Now I'm thinking about, yeah, let's see here. The GDPS, this is a Canadian model. Let's see if they have, all right, so they have snow depth. So we can analyze snow depth instead of looking at it with an assumption of a 10-to-1 ratio. We can just analyze the snow depth on this. Um, Sorry, this forecast loop kind of skips forward by accident. It's sensitive, really sensitive. But it's showing for the wow. Okay, this is different. This is different than any of the other models I've seen. Almost all the models are in closer agreement, but this one's kind of an outlier. This one has, this one has snow extending into central Virginia, which the other weather models only showed that early on. The rest of them have, most of them have been like, they've adjusted. And this one still, being an outlier makes it unlikely to be an accurate forecast, but still, it is interesting to see how it shows snow going into central Virginia. So, it's not impossible you could see that, but it's very unlikely at this point. So yeah, that's interesting. And it's showing a lot less widespread. It's more spotty areas of 6 inches and more. So it's not as much of a widespread area of 6 inches. It's very spotty in the Northeast. And then, of course, just about all the models show the Allegheny Mountains in West Virginia just getting plastered with snow. They always do. It's just something about that area. Uh, yeah. So let me see here. Let me see if they have a futurecast radar basically through this. Yeah, they do. They do. So the Canadian model here, precipitation type and rate, we can look at the futurecast radar in a sense. It's kind of like the radar. So, wow. Okay. So they're showing a whole lot of freezing rain. Just a ton of freezing rain and mixed precipitation. That's what they're showing. This is different than the other ones. This is confusing though. They're showing it starting off as freezing rain and mixed precipitation in central Virginia. But then they have, when you looked at the snowfall totals, they had like 3, 4, and 5 inches of snow in central Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley. It doesn't really make sense why they would be showing a bunch of freezing rain and a bunch of mixed precipitation, like, sleet and whatever. It doesn't make sense how you could get 3 to 5 inches of snow from that. They're not showing snow happen until you get up into the northern Virginia. Something doesn't make sense here. But yeah, they're showing heavier snow in Pennsylvania. So I don't know. That seems a little mixed up in my mind. But I don't know. I'm gonna go back and check the chat again. Let's see here. So yeah, HC teacher, yeah. I'm thinking now this is my perspective. Now I'm gonna bring you my perspective for a moment. Um, Definitely the mountains in the Shenandoah Valley, in the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Allegheny Mountains. The elevation always helps with snowfall. Almost always. Not always. Sorry. It doesn't always help. It almost always helps with snowfall, especially when you have a warm front coming in. As long as the warm front isn't super strong, having the elevation, that will definitely make a difference. Um, yeah. So I think that, if the higher elevation you are in the storm, if you're in the mid-Atlantic, if you're in Virginia, if you're in West Virginia, or even Pennsylvania, the higher elevation I think will definitely help. And if you're along the coast, the same thing. The higher elevation will definitely help because then you're near the rain snow line, and having that higher elevation could cause you to have the snow instead of the rain. Um, okay, so all right. So you want to see the forecast on these models. All right, yeah, I can check the forecast. They have the forecast section up on Pivotal Weather. I haven't done that too much, and so I'll check that here in a little bit. Let's see here. Go outside and we'll analyze the weather. Yeah, it's cold where I'm at tonight. It's kind of cold and damp. But it's kind of dark too, so I don't think it would be great for streaming at this moment. You wouldn't be able to see me or anything really. Um, but yeah, in the future, when I can, I think even tomorrow, if I can, I'm gonna have to see if if I can bring it out. As long as it's not snowing really heavy, I'll probably bring my camera out and get a video, maybe like my rain gauge and measuring snow tomorrow. So I'll try to do that. We'll see how that goes. Let me read some other chats. We have um, no worries yet. Okay, thank you. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired. But yeah, I do want to do one more thing here before I stop with this. Um, it's hard talking for a long time. I haven't done streaming like this for a long time, uh, for a long period of time. I don't go very long usually, but wow, it is not easy talking nonstop for a long time. I'm hoping soon to get one of those streaming services, or maybe this streaming service would allow it. I need to look into it and learn more about it. But to allow a situation where you can have other people on the stream and just like converse through video, because that would take a lot of it would give me a breather instead of having to talk all the time. But let me see here. So now I'm going to look at just a couple weather models that I would say are more detailed spatially. So like a lot of these weather models don't go out temporarily. Temporarily they don't go out very far in time, but their detail spatially is pretty good. So they can show different features like elevation and stuff. A lot of these models will show that, and you can see the different effects from elevation on the snow. And that's one thing that these weather models will show a little better. So this weather model, the what do they call it? HRRR model, um, it shows a lot more detail, I would say. You can see that the single cells of storms and possibly even thunderstorms down in South Carolina and stuff, showers and thunderstorms. You can see the detail a lot better. Um, it's showing mixed precipitation and freezing rain again for central Shenandoah Valley, central Virginia, um, and then snow up into West Virginia. And with this one, let's see, does Dayton, Ohio? Yeah, Ohio gets in on just the edge of the snow. But then lots of mixed precipitation, even up into Maryland at this point on this weather model, and moderate to heavy snowfall in southwestern Pennsylvania. This doesn't show like nearly as heavy snowfall as other models do, but it does show a decently heavy snowfall. The closer you are to the rain and snow, the heavier the snow is. The closer you are to the rain, the heavier the snow is, I meant to say. Um, but yeah. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get, do we have, let's see if they have snowfall total on this. Yeah, so we can get snow depth. So, oops, didn't mean to do that. So with this, yeah, it doesn't show much snow in Virginia where I'm at. So if this pans out, if this weather model turns out to be closer to accurate, you guys might not even see a video tomorrow. It might be mighty boring. I would hope that this is not accurate. It's not known to be the most accurate weather model, but it is known to have a lot of detail. Um, if it turns out the way they're saying though, upstate New York is going to get a pretty good snowfall if this weather model turns out to be accurate. Um, but yeah, let me um, just show like one of the ensembles, which is basically like a bunch of different weather models put into one. I'm going to show you one of the National Weather Service ensembles here. I'll just do this quick. They're showing this is their mean snow depth. So when you put all the models together, or not all, but a lot of the models together, for this one, it's showing, you know, Virginia, the farther north you go in the Shenandoah Valley, the more snow you get. You could get 4 or 5 inches in northern Shenandoah Valley. Um, Pennsylvania, 5 inches. They're not showing much above 6 in most areas unless you're in that one, oh, I forget the name of the mountain range in western Pennsylvania, I mean western Massachusetts, but it's near Pittsfield, Massachusetts, I think. That's where they're talking about 6 inches in this on this ensemble of models. Um, Again, you go back to West Virginia, the Allegheny's getting just tons of snow, relative to everybody else around here. But yeah, I think I'm getting kind of tired of looking at these weather models. I'm going to show you guys just the current situation with the radar. You can see where the snow is, where the rain is. Um, I'm not 100% sure, but I might, after I'm done with this stream in a few minutes here, I might try streaming this storm chasing game I found. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to think about it. Um, but watch out if you're going to be on YouTube for longer this evening. Watch for that. I might stream this storm chasing game and see how that goes. I don't know. But we have, you know, right? This is the radar. So this is not a weather model. Now we're looking at the radar, current radar. Uh, Lots of rain happening right now in heavy rain from, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. But that energy is being funneled up into Illinois currently. They're getting snow. Why, scattered snow from Kansas into Indiana. It looks like Ohio's going to get clipped by some of the snow. But we can go back and look at the past 2 hours, and then I'll show you the future cast. So there's the past 2 hours right there. And then I'm going to zoom in on the area that might see snow, just so we can see what's going to happen here. This is weather.com's future cast. So this is, yeah. Looks like Illinois is going to get some snow. And then now you're starting to see here on the futurecast weather.com, they're showing, snow and freezing rain and sleet scattered throughout the highest points and the highest, elevations in North Carolina. Starting to snow in Southwest Virginia by 2 a.m. on their thing. And then you're starting to see the freezing rain start to really ramp up in Northwest North Carolina, Southwest Virginia near Galax. So yeah, that's as far as that goes for there. But yeah, let me check the chat and we can talk for a minute more. I will see how how things are going. Thanks for hanging out and stopping by and giving this a like and everything like that. Nice to see everybody. All right, it'd be nice to see if the forecast in these mountains. Yeah. Oh, I already read that. Okay. Snowfall. Yeah. Trying to find where I should go. I can throw snowballs in July at the top of the mountains in Colorado. Have to bring a winter jacket in the summer. Yeah, that is amazing. I wanna experience that sometime. I wanna go out in the Rockies or something like that and just be able to do that. That would be so cool. Um, all right. Thank you. Um, I don't know. I think I'm gonna probably stop the stream here. Thanks for stopping by. This is just kind of a analysis. I didn't really make a forecast myself because this is just one of those storms that's not even really that fun to try to forecast. But I wouldn't doubt it if you're in Illinois. I guess I'll give a real quick forecast here. Um, for some areas. I'm not going to forecast Virginia because Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, even up into southern Pennsylvania and along the coast as you go farther north. That's that's not a fun forecast to try to make. There's so many different possibilities. But I'll say with the snow in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, if you are in the snow area and you're not too far north of the storm, it wouldn't be surprising to see 1 to 3 inches scattered. It might be spotty. There might be some areas that don't get anything at all, but you know, you got a shot at 1 to 3, I'd say for sure. Um, if you're a little bit closer to the rain, but the snow still sticks to the ground, you might get a little more. You might get 3 inches or more. I don't know, but probably. That's just my weather enthusiast opinion. That's not a professional opinion or anything. I would definitely, again, recommend checking out Ryan Hall Y'all on YouTube. So that's Ryan Hall Y'all on YouTube. And also checking out um, checking out the National Weather Service. That would be the main source for any good weather information. But yeah. So I think I'm gonna stop it here. I'm getting tired of talking. I need to go get some water. I kind of forgot. This is like the first long weather related stream I've done, so I've kind of forgotten to go get water and bring it. Next stream, I'll have water handy, and I might be able to go a little bit longer if folks are interested. Hope you enjoyed it. Uh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Um, I don't know. Have a good evening. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. HC Teacher, thank you. Amy, thank you. Um, thank you, Cool Guy. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Major Minis. Let's see here. Anybody else? Yeah. Well, if anybody else popped in, thank you so much. I just went back as far as I could on the chat for right now. So thank you very much. Oh, thank you, the last one. Yes, I saw you early on in the stream, and I just couldn't find you on the chat until now. Yeah, I do think that you might have a better shot next week for snow in Ohio, Cool Guy, but I'm not sure. It depends on where you're at. The farther north and central U.S. might get a bigger snow in this storm that comes Tuesday if you're in the central U.S. So yeah. All right. Yep. Thank you. Have a good night. Enjoy. I hope it went well. Hope you liked the stream. Bye.